So good to be with you this morning. I am grateful to the Dover-Sherburne Television Cable Company for making this possible. I want you to know right away I have missed being with you, and so I am grateful that I can have this opportunity through this cable TV to basically share a few thoughts and reflections with you. By the way, I do send out weekly messages through Constant Contact. Please check your emails so that we can perhaps stay in contact that particular way. The few thoughts that I had to share with you this morning, that first of all, I'm very mindful that this is an important week in our country. The President has said that this may be the most serious week that we are going to enter into regarding the coronavirus, that there will be lots of suffering and many deaths. At the same time, this week is the beginning of the holiest week of the year for us Christians. So that as Americans or as Christians, we need to reflect and ask God's help with us in terms of suffering and death. For us as Christians, Holy Week draws our attention to the suffering and death of Jesus, that he did out of his love and out of his mercy for all of us. But when we reflect on the suffering of Jesus and his death, we certainly are reminded that he was not some passive spectator. He experienced the pains of human suffering. And so we, in our country, as Americans, can turn to him and ask him, Lord, come, help us carry the cross of this terrible pandemic, the cross of the world's suffering. We turn to you. We turn to you. Our cross here in the stained glass window reminds us of that cross of Christ, and it reminds us of the sacrifice that he made in terms of giving himself over for us out of love, his self-giving gift. And so let us turn our attention also to all of those in the healthcare field, all of those who are working to attend those who are the victims of this virus. The doctors, the nurses, the emergency response people, police, the fire, all of those that are involved. May those who follow the example of Christ receive his blessing and his strength to continue their act of self-giving love for others. And as we think of that, another group of people come to my mind, and that is all of those, it may even before this pandemic is over, affect us as well. That is, all those who have lost a loved one due to this pandemic. I was praying the rosary the other day, and I was focusing on the sorrowful mysteries, and an image came to my mind, and that is of the great Pietà of Michelangelo, where we see the sorrowful mother of Jesus holding and caressing her son, taken down from the cross, Jesus himself in her arms. And I thought, Mary, you are the one that we can pray to for your maternal compassion and consolation for all of the families who have lost a member or have someone suffering at this time. And when we talk about losses, we're mindful of all of the others who need the strength and the support of God. For those who have lost their jobs, for those who are confined, quarantined into their homes because of the danger of the pandemic. They can't go out, especially the elderly. And I also think of our children and our youth in our parishes here in Dover and Sherburne. And I think of, a lost season of sports. Those who won't be playing soccer, those who won't be playing field hockey, those who won't be playing baseball, softball, and other sports. It may seem like a little thing, but it is actually an important thing if you are in that age bracket. As we come to the end of Holy Week this week, it's the end of Lent, and it points also to the resurrection of Jesus. The resurrection of Jesus reminds us of how Christ wants to lift us up, raise us up. May we ask him to help raise us up as a people who continue now to put into practice the corporal and spiritual works of mercy. I already see signs of this new life and the way people are reaching out to one another. Restaurants that have closed have chosen to use their resource foods to feed hungry people, to send meals to doctors and nurses in hospitals, to those who are caring for the elderly at home. All the different ways that people are following the example of sacrificing their resources for the good of others. May I thank all of you for your generosity to us here at the church and all of the churches to continue your support for us during this particular time. May God bless you for your financial support in all those ways that you give and help. It allows us to continue our work of charitable outreach to others. May I close now by asking God to bless all of you. May the Lord be with you, and may he bless you in the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Until we meet again physically together, may God's peace reside in your heart.